Kalimera, kalispera, kalinikta. No matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day, especially during these unusual broadcasting hours for us. We appreciate your patience. I believe the lasagnas were dropped off at the Etihad. Here we go. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Look at these best buds here. They could be bracelet buddies, just like Joey and Chandler in Friends. But the niceties will be over tomorrow night as these two lifelong friends become football frenemies. And joining me for a bonus episode, we're coming to you in the morning because it's a crazy week for us. So we still want to bring you shows. Here he is, my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kev, Super Kevin Campbell. Bush.
Bo! Squaddies! This is a nice, short, sharp, key matchups. So at ease, Squaddies.
Very, very nice. Super Kev, I am wearing shades. You know why? The future's so bright for Arsenal. I've got to wear shades. I also have a headache. And after that weekend in Chicago, I'm absolutely exhausted. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning here. And that's it. I don't care. And I'm wearing
caught
my
up with you a little bit. That's all right.
It has.
Hey, the shades look cool. It's all right. The shades look
awesome. Cool. Channeling my inner Elvis, maybe.
Yes.
Super Kev, everyone, you're going to want to stay until the end of the show because I have a very fun, special, exciting announcement for who my guest co-host is going to be after the Manchester City game tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss that. Right, Kev, let's get the niceties out of the way even between us.
Yeah.
Is this the biggest game? Kev, is this Arsenal's biggest game in Premier League history?
No, not in Premier League history, but in the last 19 years it is. Look, Arsenal have had some huge games in the Premier League, and some we've lost, but a lot of the prominent ones we've won. This one for a new generation of gooners, so they've never been in this position before. They've never seen a wobble. They've never seen anything like what we're going through now. So strap yourselves in, because nobody ever said a running is easy. And you know what? We're learning on the fly, aren't we? We are all learning on the fly. The manager, the players, the manager's learning a lot about the players. And the players are learning a lot about themselves. Going through this hurdle of trying to shake off Manchester City. It's a big hurdle because, as we know, they've won 4 out of 5 Premier Leagues. But it's one we can do, and it's one we have to be so focused on now. So it's a 6-game season. That's it. 6 games.
So, Kev, you've been in such big games in your career, from the heights of the heights to win everything, and from the lows of the lows to save teams, which you've done gloriously at West Brom and Everton, and won it all at the Arsenal. With this young team, and when you went into Arsenal, you were young. We're just going to get to the matchups in just a sec, but I have to get your take on this. You were in the stands as a young player for Anfield 89. You were part of the championship winning team just a few years later, right? Arsenal have gone to Old Trafford and won the league. They've gone to White Hart Lane twice and done it. Anfield 89, if you're old enough and if you remember that, everyone told Arsenal it was impossible. Like everybody, nobody gave Arsenal a shot to go to Anfield and have to win 2-0. Generationally, Kev, do you think Mikel's tapping into this? Do you think the old Arsenal culture can come back? We've proven that different teams over different eras have done that. Can this team do it?
Well, that's what he has to tap into, Soph, and that's what he has to get the players focused on To take down a champion, you have to have a champion mindset, Sophie. You have to. You're just not going to do it by accepting we ain't playing well right now. No, it's not good enough. That is unacceptable. You know the the team you have to take down is Manchester City, and you have to go in their backyard. All the odds are against you. Some of your own fans have even written you off. Same thing happened in '89. Same thing happened in '91, where Liverpool had won the title back in 1990. And the challenges have always been there against Manchester United, you know. So with the Invincibles and those teams who won the title, there always are questions and hurdles that you have to get over. And these are the big hurdles. If you could get yourself through them, we've seen the iconic games. We crow about the iconic games. We look back. You remember there was an Arsenal fan in the stand going, "Oh, he was going
Oh
crazy."
yeah, iconic.
At White Hart Lane, all of these stadiums, George Graham's Arsenal, Mickey Thomas, it's up for grabs now. These things build a legacy. Now, these youngsters, can they weave themselves into the legacy of Arsenal right now? Because they've done so well this season. But the biggest challenge is here. And you know what, Soph? Be confident about it. Go into it. Do you know one thing I remember about '89, going up on that coach? The boys were so relaxed. You would never have believed they had got a big game, winner take all, against that Liverpool side in the night. You would have never believed it. Even before the game. You would have never believed it. So we've got to believe. We've got to believe that they can do it, honestly. And you know what? If it doesn't go our way, we know we have to get better. But I think we've been the best team and we can do this.
Stop it, Kev. You've got me all riled up.
Football has a funny way of when you think it's all going one way, what does it do? It trips you up. That's what it's done to us the last 3 games. We were flying, 7 on the spin. Then all of a sudden, oh, you think you've cracked it, have you? Up! You get a little trip. So let's see. Let's see if these youngsters, yeah, we're a young side, so what? But we're hungry. We're hungry. Let's go for it.
Clip that bit. Send it to your Arsenal mates. Put it up on the internet. Everyone needs to hear what Kev just said for the last couple of minutes. Super Kev. This is why I wanted to squeeze this in today. How are we going to do this,
And
Kev?
we did squeeze it.
We did squeeze it in.
Yeah.
Let's get stuck into it. Campbell's key matchups.
How
is this game going to be won and lost, Super Kev?
Well, I'm going to talk about us first.
Sure.
Because it's about us. Martinelli and Saka have got to dominate wide. That is a fact. They've got to dominate wide. Because one thing we do know, their fullbacks can bomb on. And who those fullbacks are? Martinelli against Kyle Walker, potentially. And let's be fair, Saka, I don't believe Aki will be fit. He may be, but it might be Gomez. Or they have played, what's his name, the midfielder at left back, haven't they? Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva, yeah.
At left back at times. So if it's not Aki, Saka has got to have the game of his life. We've got to hurt them wide. You know why, Soph? Here's the reason why we've got to hurt them wide. Because when you beat City wide, you're dragging a centre-half out. A centre-half has to leave Jesus one-on-one. That's what we want. Jesus knows these guys, and that's another matchup which I'll get to. But if we don't get the first thing right, if their two centre halves are just there, sat there, can body up Jesus, that's not good enough for us. We need to be able to get in and around the back of them so they turn in and facing their own goal. That's when we could cause maximum damage, and that's when I believe Jesus can prove to be the difference maker.
Okay,
But
so
we
Kev,
have to get them wide.
when we played them in February, this was our starting 11. Ramsdale, Tommy, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Gino, Xhaka, Saka, Eddie, and Martinelli. Their starting was Edison, Silva, Aki, Diaz, Walker, Rodri, oof, that guy, Grealish, Gundogan, I probably screwed that up. I always do. Kevin De Bruyne, the god, Mahrez, the magician who could just do anything at any time. And of course, up front, Haaland, we lost 3-1.
And we gave it away. Let's be honest.
We did.
We gave it away.
I thought we played better in that game than the result, Kev. They had 9 shots. We had 10. They had 6 on target. Our problem was our shots on target. We had 1. Possession, they gave us all of it, of course. We had 64. Passes, we had 524, 303. I felt like they lured us in, Kev. They lured us. This is what Pep's teams do. They give you this full sense of security.
Yeah, but not only that, Sophie. We can't give them. We gave De Bruyne a goal. You know, we gave, who was it? Haaland a goal.
Yep. And
from our mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do against the best teams. You just can't do that. You're committing suicide.
Exactly, and Grealish scored that day too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Okay, we touched on it a bit yesterday on Monday Madness. If you missed the show, it was a great chat with Jason Cundy. Go check it out. I know that the broadcast was earlier and some of you just completely missed it and didn't catch it, but it's on replay. You can go see it. Kev, last time Saliba was playing, he's not. How are we going to handle this guy? A little bit more detail than yesterday. We got Gabriel, of course, at the back, and we've got Rob. You defended Holdini. Rob. Some of your comments went viral today from our show yesterday, standing up for Holdinho.
Yeah.
Is there another Diego Costa type performance in him? Is that going to be our Achilles heel? Ramsdale, Holding, Gabriel.
Well, no, I don't. Well, I don't expect it to be. And do you know what, Sophie? I think because of the way both teams play, we play quite expansive. There might be goals in this, and it might be roller coaster ride stuff. But the truth of the matter is, I think what we need to do, we need to be smart in our distances from the halfway line to our own box. Because what they tried to do to us, if you remember at the Emirates, they tried to hit balls over the top. Yeah, more balls over the top than you could ever remember. They just tried to isolate Haaland and Holding, and they just tried to clip balls over the top. But that was them away from home, where they could sit back in and say, "Come on, Arsenal, God." I think it'll be different tomorrow because they're at home. The onus is on them, so the onus is on them. They can deliver the kill shot to us by beating us. We know that. But what it can also do, they have to come to us and we can catch them on the break. And if
because even a draw is a good result. A draw's
not a bad result. It's not a bad result. It's not a result we want. It's not a result they want because all it does is keeps things rolling. But we don't mind it rolling because anything could happen after that. Because there are some tough games for both teams with teams that are struggling and teams that are up there challenging. There are some tough games to come. But Sophie, we have to get our distances right. So if they try to knock the ball over the top, it's either Holding gets it or it's swept up by Ramsdale. Haaland does not get that chance.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. Because when Saliba is playing, not only is he good in possession, he's good out of possession, but it's what he does with the ball, how he switches play, how he turns around. He's just so cognizant of everything and everyone. He sees the pitch like those special players do, right? And his passing is sublime, and he's able to help us kind of move the ball forward quickly. I want to ask you about that right side versus the left side, Kev, because with Holding, and I'm not pointing out Holding, I'm just pointing out that there's a different player in the starting 11 who hasn't been as part of the group in every single game. So now we're playing the same way, but it's a different way because of the personnel, right, Kev? So do you
Yeah.
think we're going to be going more out on the left side? And here's why I ask, because a lot of questions came in for you on Zinchenko, and some people were upset with me after yesterday's show for not bringing Zinchenko up because they felt like he's been poor with the ball. He's been too emotional. Some fans didn't like the huddle afterwards when we conceded against Southampton. He's gone from hero
They
not to
didn't like
zero.
it.
No,
Well,
they
let me
didn't.
tell. They didn't like. Well, let me tell you why he huddled. Let me tell you why he huddled. I've got to say this. He had to shake the boys up. It's not a huddle of congratulations. Let me tell you, it's not a huddle of congratulations. It's a huddle to wake. The team are asleep. We're 2-0 down at home. And he's probably said to them, we've worked too damn hard, guys, to be in this position at home. So give yourself a shake and let's go. We can't mess this up now. He's not huddling for fun. I can't
No.
believe some people. Because you know what? If he wouldn't have said something as one of the experienced guys and left it, who's to say we come back in that game? But after that one, we started playing a bit more progressive. And do you know what we started doing? We started knocking the ball over the back of Southampton as opposed to trying to play through them. And that got Saka to the byline to cut it back for Martinelli to score. And that's why we started to get a little bit more dangerous in that game. So, guys, come on. This ain't no pats on the back. We're 2-0 down, guys. We're all right. No. This is a shake up, wake up.
Well said, Super Kev. We've complained about not having leadership, not showing any emotion. And then when we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. So let's talk about. I don't know why Arsenal fans continue to ask if Kieran Tierney's going to start.
Right. Just let me say, yeah, sorry. Let me
No,
finish
go on,
on
Kev.
this.
Yeah.
Let me finish on this. The fact of the matter, we're in this position is because of the way we play with the left back joining our midfield to dominate and suffocate the opposition. You fans sometimes are so quick to throw players away. Oh, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. Why do you reckon we're top? He's one of the main reasons we're top of the league. He's one of the main reasons why we've dominated the league up until a certain point. We were unbelievable at Anfield for the first half virtually. Nobody complained about Zinchenko. All I heard was, oh, Zinchenko shouldn't have played because, he got nutmegged for the second goal. We were 2-0 up. And then, yeah, things didn't go well at West Ham. But after 10 minutes, after half an hour, nobody played well at West Ham. But for the first 10 minutes to get our noses in front 2-0, we were unbelievable. Fair play, Southampton was a poor performance. But you know what? It happens and you have to show fighting spirit. You have to have Zinchenko on there with that huddle to wake a few people up to get them focused. These are the stuff that should not be happening. Not when you're in a title challenge. But the experienced player had to grab everybody together and say, listen, guys, I can't swear on here, but come on.
You can
We're
swear
at
if you
home.
want.
So we're bleeding at home. This is. Get in here. We're not. This is not right. We got to fight, guys, because this can't be happening to us. We've worked too hard. And we
Kev,
saw a reaction.
and I'm pretty sure if Xhaka was on the pitch, he would have done exactly the same thing in that moment at that time. I think people are having a pop at Zinny since Liverpool, and they feel like he's overly playing his role. And maybe we're now being punished for that. And the biggest fear for Arsenal fans are those spaces, Kev. And that's a conversation that we've talked about, a lot over the last, 3 or 4 weeks. Whether you've got the ball in those spaces where you don't, whether the players running into, they feel like it's a Grand Canyon type where we could get absolutely ripped. In your
Yeah,
Campbell's
we
key
can.
matchups, are
Yeah,
you
but we
worried
can.
about that?
No, I'm not worried about that. But we can. We can because of the way we play. What has got us here? What has got us to this point where we're actually in a challenge with a team like Manchester City, who are behind us, by the way, and they're wanting to try and give us a kill shot, but we're still in the lead? It's because of the way we play. It's the way we dominate teams. It's the way we've gotten results, the free-flowing football. That's what's caught everybody else out. Now, all of a sudden, there's a little bit of adversity and people want to throw Zinchenko away. But I
Oh wait,
don't
I haven't
expect...
told you that. I haven't told you all of it yet. There are some fans that are asking if Jesus shouldn't start.
Hey,
This is what I'm throwing
Sophie,
at you today.
yeah, yeah, Sophie. I get all that because all of these managers on the outside know best. Never forget that. Everybody or who have these differing things know best. But what we've got to look at is what has got us here. Who are the experienced players in this? And the reasons why we are where we are, so much of it comes down to Zinchenko and Jesus.
Let me tell you something, guys. I wouldn't want to run into Super Kev today because you might get a concussion. This is absolute fire from him. And this is what we need to get behind our team ahead of one of the biggest games in our club's history. Oh, and the thought of pulling this off, the thought of shutting people up, the thought of us being able to have those bragging rights and really take the Arsenal Football Club to that next level and to the point, Kev, where we truly earn our respect back. I think we've earned it, but I think there's still a couple of hurdles to overcome. Now, a lot of us don't care what other people think. I actually do care what and how this story ends, right? But before we get to how it ends, there's all this stuff that we have to achieve in the middle. And the mental part of it is for me the biggest. And I keep saying this, and you're probably bored of me saying it. Zinchenko has been a little, there's emotion, but someone just wrote, like when he was crying at Liverpool and stuff like that. Are you worried at all with him being at City, his old team? We saw the 3-1. We saw what happened at the end of the game. Are you worried at all that his emotions could get the best of him?
No, no chance. There's been no sign on the pitch that he can't keep his emotions in check. There's been no sign to say that he can't play in the big games. He's been there, seen it, done it. The guy's a baller. But I tell you what frustrates experienced players is the fact when the team aren't playing to their capacity.
Mm.
That's what is frustrating. And maybe, Sophie, he's actually trying to do too much.
That's what I think with Martinelli sometimes. Their hearts are going to burst so much, Kev, because no matter what it is in life, right, whether they're doing, washing the car or taking the kids for a walk, I think they just want to win,
They
even
want
if
to
they're doing
win.
the dishes.
Yeah. I think sometimes, and you know what? It's not a bad trait to want to win and want to to do too much. But so this is the thing about a team game. Everybody has to carry their own weight. Everybody has to do their job. The matchup of the midfields. Who plays in our midfield to who plays in their midfield? We've got to get the better of them. This is the matchup. This is a key. Our midfield, Thomas Partey, who hasn't been himself in the last couple of games, Sophie.
No, he has not.
I'm his biggest fan, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
We need a big performance from him today. We need a big performance from Gabriel. We need a big performance from
tomorrow.
Ramsdale. Sorry, Ramsdale. Look, I'm even getting the days wrong here. But and Jesus. We talk about the spine, Soph. This is the time tomorrow where they've got to perform. This is the time. This is why we brought you in. This is the time for performance.
So let's talk about this, because I can't take comments like this. Anik, I adore you, and you always kind of have some good comments, but this is insane. This comment is absolutely insane. How many goals has he scored since it?
4 games, hasn't he? Four goals in 4 games.
Kev, how do you handle it when, I mean, you were a striker, you didn't need too many chances. It's really difficult sometimes when you have a striker who needs more than the one chance. But I don't need to tell you guys what Jesus offers this team. You guys all think it's like preaching for dummies or something. Are you joking me?
Sophie, but you got to remember, Soph, if the team don't win, there always has to be fingers pointed. There always has to be. Holding didn't do this and Holding was too deep. No, we had the ball. Holding's got to give depth. Jesus missed the future. So what? It's football. This is what... Listen, as striker, that's part of your game. Missing chances. You want to take them, but, you want to play well all the time. You can't. It's impossible. But the key is when you get to the key parts of the season where you've got to perform. I like it when people write us off, Soph. Because now Mikel Arteta has got an extra card in his bag. They've written you off. They think you're done.
Yeah.
We've worked so hard for the season, but because they're writing it and because they're saying it, what do? Do we just give up? Or do we go and prove ourselves?
Exactly.
I know what I do. I go and prove myself. I go and fight. It will be war. It's going to be war tomorrow. It needs to be.
Kev, I know I said we've earned some respect, but here we are, 6 games to go in the season, and some people are still questioning Arsenal.
Our own fans are questioning Arsenal.
This is the thing. This is the thing. This is why I want to win so bad. I don't think, other than Tottenham, right? And of course, the other games in the last 20 years, whatever. Yeah, fine. I don't think I've wanted to win a game this badly in my whole life. My whole footballing, watching life. I want to win it bad. So bad. I'm not going to hide it, Kev.
Me too. And do you know what, Soph? I got asked today. I just was doing an interview before. I got asked, Kev, you seem fine. I said, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't go to the Etihad with trepidation. No chance. Listen, they beat us fairly and squarely at the Emirates, but we played all right. And you know what? On another day, that result could have been twisted. It's our time. We haven't played well for 3 games. We're getting written off. That's just the way I like it for Arsenal. I don't want everybody's not going to give us the flowers anyway. We've got to earn everything.
We do. I'm going to read out some quick comments for you. Just a few more minutes here with Super Kev. Kev, right. Your starting 11. Does it change? Is it exactly the same as West Ham? Are you changing Fabio Vieira?
Yeah, same as West Ham. Same as West Ham it is.
Hold on a second. You're starting Fabio Vieira. If
West
Xhaka is
Ham.
okay.
West Ham.
Okay,
West
sorry.
Ham,
Xhaka is going to be back. Xhaka is going to be back. Okay.
If Xhaka's not back, by the way, if Xhaka's not back,
yes,
I think the extra nous of Trossard could be a difference maker. So there might have to be a little tinkering with Partey and Zinchenko, because Zinchenko has to play more as a midfielder. But we've got to get, if Trossard's going to play, we've got to get him further up the pitch. I don't think Vieira plays. No, he won't
Okay,
start.
fantastic. All right, so we got Benjamin, we've got Rob, Gabriel, Zinchenko,
Yep,
Thomas, Xhaka, Odie,
yep,
Saka, Jesus,
Martinelli.
Martinelli.
Yep.
What do you think of the Martinelli matchup, real quick, Kev? Because he has been such a live wire for us. Again, criticized a little bit. Don't get it. I think Martinelli has been, over the last few weeks, one of our most outstanding players. How important, real quick, is Martinelli going to be? A couple people asking about 11.
Again, these key matchups, he's got to get the better of Kyle Walker. I think he can get the better of Kyle Walker solely because Kyle Walker doesn't like dribblers. He likes runners. If you run against him, yeah, he's quick and that. But the dribbling ability of Martinelli, he can dribble, he can beat you. And I think that could cause Kyle Walker some problems. Pretty much the same as Saka. Saka on the other side, I think Saka's a dribbler, but he's got to do more running off the ball. I think he's got to go without the ball to really cause a problem. And then the defense starts to sit back. Then he could get it to feet a lot easier. So
Okay.
I think there's got to be a mix-up. But the key matchup for us, Soph, is our wide men against their fullbacks.
And this guy, you worried about him at all?
I think worried? No, I ain't worried about him. Yeah, I still think he's a top player, Soph.
It's Jack Grealish for those listening on audio.
I think, yeah, it's Jack Grealish. I think that matchup with Benny Blanco, Benjamin White at right back, and their left wide winger is going to be one of the keys. Because fair play to Jack Grealish, he's found his feet this season. So
he has.
He's probably been their best player this season
Consistently, like since Christmas, for sure.
And that's saying something with a guy like Kevin De Bruyne in your team and Haaland. But I think Grealish has really found his feet and found he's found his mojo. So I think that's another matchup that if we can keep Grealish quiet, we stand a much better chance.
Would you rather John Stones started at right back for them or Walker? A lot of our listeners and squaddies are saying Stones will probably start at right back, Kev.
I'll take Stones all day long against Martinelli, please. All day long. Let me tell you. All day long. Let him be chasing Martinelli. But you know what we've got to do as well? We've got to feed our white. Whoever's getting the better of their opponent, we've got to get the ball to them.
All right, Kev. Give me your George Graham vision. What is going to happen in this game?
We're going to win it 3-2. We're going to win it 3-2. And we're going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. That's what I truly hope and I believe that we're going to do. I think it's easy to just write off and think the season's going to be done. I don't think so. I think this Arsenal team have shown that they are willing to fight. I think that they're willing to scrap. And I think that they're willing to do whatever it takes to win this Premier League. And what an exciting game we got ahead. So,
does this guy bounce back? Does he bounce back?
He's going to have to. So, yeah, of course. You know what? These guys have made mistakes in the past and have come back better. This is the biggest test. No bigger stage.
Okay, my prediction for tomorrow is Manchester City 3, Arsenal 3.
Wow, goals galore. I like that.
Goals galore. I do feel it. I feel like there could be goals galore. I do. I feel it. Okay, brilliant stuff from Super Kevin Campbell. Do not forget to go visit our friends at Zenith Coins. Use code HS15 to get your coin. Tomorrow, Manchester City versus Arsenal Football Club. I will be joined on the post-game show by Casey, but not this Casey. That's right, baby. We're keeping it in the family. My co-host for tomorrow is the one and only Mr. Kyle Campbell. Bosh! Bosh! I love it.
Well, I hope he's crying on the pod, if I'm honest with you.
Is
I
he going to
hope
be
he is.
annoying, Kev? Give us a give us a heads up.
Oh, listen, no, he'll be smart, but he'll have a smile as big as your computer. Let me tell you, if they win, trust me, he will. But you know what? It is what it is. May the best team win, and I hope it's the Arsenal. That's the one.
Definitely for sure. Okay, you guys, join me. Tomorrow's going to be the only show where we're doing more of a regular time. So we will be going live after Manchester City versus the Arsenal. Myself and Kyle Campbell will be doing the post-game show live for you guys. Is
You
there
might get a
anything?
couple of videos or pictures. I must.
Okay, that'll be
Might.
great.
You
Super
just
Kev
might.
will be pitch side
Yeah.
for the game. Kev, what do you want to leave the squaddies with before we duck out ahead of Manchester City versus the Arsenal? It's been years since I've been waiting to say this, guys. It's a top of the table clash. The two best teams in the country going at it for the Premier League title. Who will rise? Who will fall? Who will be the hero? Who will win it all? Super Kev, it's over to you.
Listen, feel the nerves, feel the occasion, but make sure you believe in our boys. Because really, do you know what? They've not let us down. They've had bad results, but bad results happen in a season. But let's get behind the boys. Let's back the boys. Because you know what? They can win at City. They can. But we're going to find out tomorrow. But you know what? We love them, and they're ours. They're our team. Let's not battle each other about this one, that one. Let's get behind them, and let's go and get the 3 points. That's what I say. So let's
I
go
love
and
it.
get the 3 points.
I love it. Super Kev, thanks for jumping in today. I
No
know your
problem.
schedule's insane.
Yeah, I've got get 7
Yeah,
minutes.
off you go. I'm off too. Massive day ahead. I will see you tomorrow, everybody. Super Kev,
Squaddies,
take us out.
at ease. We love you. Love your family. Pure love for the Arsenal. At ease, squaddies. At ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Fine, I'll reverse my prediction. Arsenal 3, Manchester City 2.